The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Podcast. It's another edition of The Big Issue. And of course, as usual, I'm your regular host. And with me here in the studio are our in-house analysts. We have Mr. Silas Ezogu. And then there is judiciary expert here, Kunle Olasami.
I welcome you now. I welcome. Sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening, viewers. I welcome you to our show today.
Well, for the big issue of the day, it is AGF Malami CJN and Delay in prosecution of high-profile cases. Well, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami and the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Muhammad Tanko, wrangled over the AGF's claim that the delay in prosecution of high-profile cases has to do with the judiciary and not the executive arm of government. Malami had, in an interview granted in national television, said the federal government has employed measures to ensure speedy dispensation of cases, and that once a matter is brought before the court, it becomes a judiciary affair. And I quote Malami as he said it: "You cannot by any stretch of imagination place blame associated with the conclusion and determination of cases on the doorsteps of executive. It is exclusively a judiciary affair." And of course, responding to Malami's position, the Chief Justice of Nigeria said the AGF's position is one-sided, and that the federal government, that is the executive arm of government to be precise, is very fond of filing multiple cases in court, that it cannot be able to prove. We're talking of delay in the dispensation of justice, whether high-profile cases or low-profile cases. And you see what the CJN replied, the AGF, that it is because the federal government is fond of filing cases that they cannot even prove in court. That is even what is even leading to the delay of this in the prosecution of these high-profile cases. What is your position on this issue?
Apart from what you have just said, the response of the CJN, in its response, the CJN also said that the Office of Attorney General filed charges that they cannot prove or charges they cannot sustain.
That is the point.
In court, he said that. But I remember yesterday, yesterday, in a statement by the media head to the AGF Malami and Dr. Buhari, he said that from what the AGF said, that the AGF did not categorically said put the blame on the doorstep of the judiciary. He said he was kind of misquoted. That was not what he said, that he was just trying to highlight what government has done to prosecute some of these cases, that the report was twisted. That was what he said. And don't forget, this is not the first time the AGF will be coming out to, let me, if I may use that word, attack the judiciary. I remember last week, was it last week? Yes, I think it was last week, Monday or Tuesday. The AGF, or it's last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember now, Monday or Tuesday, I think it was last week. The AGF, at a function organized by the Nigerian Bar Association, said or accused the judiciary of secrecy in their budgeting, that they are too secretive, that they are budgeting process is not open.
Not transparent.
Yes, their spending is not. He said it, and I remember the what's it called? The CJN wanted to reply, but at some point I don't know what happened along the line because we were talking. I was talking to them on their response to that statement. But at some point, they maybe they just decided to keep quiet because if you read the statement issued 2 days ago by the CDN, he also made reference to it that he had said something or attacked the judiciary earlier by saying that the judiciary is secretive or was secretive in his spending, and then now this one is said again. But if you look at what the response the CGN gave, he accused them too that that the file charges they cannot sustain. That so many of these and if you ask me anyway, I will say that my view about all this is that I will blame all of them, both the executive and the judiciary, because I know the police is under the executive,
Of course.
from the office of the police, or from the office of the IG to the office of the AGF, because that is where the cases go to court. And if this some of this what's the investigation is not properly done, you can imagine, you can even predict the end of some of these cases. That's why some of these cases, when they take it to court, in a layman's eyes, you will be saying that this person should have gone to jail. But at the end of the day, you will find out that the court will release him. Release the person. Discharge and acquit the person. That kind of situation, something went wrong from the investigation stage. And some of these things we are even talking about, it is not that the police or even the office of the AGF don't know what they are doing. Some of them, they create this loophole for some of these accused persons to go free. It happens. Anyway, there are some things that I cannot even be saying on air right now because I was talking to somebody in the office last week. So many dirty things that I cannot even mention now. So I will blame the two of them for some of these delays.
Don't worry, we will come back to that. But the silence, let's look at. The AGF came out to say he was misquoted. He did not say that the judiciary should be blamed for the delay in prosecution of high-profile cases. If you look at what Malami said, take it directly in context. You say, Malami said you cannot, by any stretch of imagination, place blame associated with the conclusion and determination of the case on the doorstep of the executive. It's exclusively a judicial affair. So now, with what he said, just look at this kind of context.
Sorry, before Silas will respond. What AGF was trying to say there is that they have done their job by investigating, by filing charges, that the rest is left for the judiciary. I think that is what he was trying to say.
Even if at all there's any delay,
exactly. That's why I'm coming to. That's where I'm coming to. That you can now give it different interpretations.
However I look at it, you know the government agents want to deny what they have said, by claiming to be misquoted. Especially when he discovered that he was about to rob, generated a lot of controversy and bring us together. They were just chicken out by claiming
they were misquoted.
Yeah. We have it on tape. I've done a bit. When we're doing a bit, who else takes over the judiciary? So if that's what you're saying,
if there's anything you should ask the judiciary, that's what they're saying.
You now understood it in that context, and fire back and saying that these people are not doing a proper job of it. They are bringing cases they cannot sustain. The filing charges, they're not doing proper investigation. They're not closing all the courts so that the judiciary can have. And in judiciary, you can't get what you don't ask for.
Exactly.
And you cannot
because it's not Father Christmas.
It's not Father Christmas. So whatever you are asking, they'll see whether you have a logical way to arrive at it. So you can't blame the judiciary for that the way they reacted. Like, I was going to say it if you didn't, because you are in that space, it's good that you said it yourself. You know, I did the police are not well trained. Yes, the FCC, AGF are not well trained to investigate extortion.
Yes.
Then it's also, sorry to say it, it means making money.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
They can
many
just frustrate
benefits.
any case by either, like, removing some of the things that we investigated, remove them from the file, if they can use it to negotiate. Because you're talking about somebody who is accused of stealing billions. And maybe his salary is not up to 200,000. I know that if you can do a little bit of negotiation on the table, you can get some millions.
Exactly.
So what you do to scuttle the case by not properly presenting all the facts, and then different to move. And then sometimes they don't follow diligently in the case.
Yes.
A lot of cases are both, in terms of corruption and criminal cases are messed up because those who are in charge decided to just kill the case by misbehavior, by negligence, and by other subterfuge.
Apart from what you have just said, there are so many angles to this issue. Let us look at I can mention specifics now.
Before you do that, let's just quickly take a very short break. We'll be back in a moment.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Welcome back. We are still on the big issue in Leadership Podcast. And of course, the big issue is the Attorney General of the Federation, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and delay in prosecution of high-profile cases. Kunle, you just said it. You said something about diligent prosecution.
Yes.
Of course, we've always seen courts dismissing cases, quashing cases,
Yes.
for lack of diligent prosecution.
Yes.
And Silas now said, naturally, it has to do with the prosecution council.
Yes.
Most of them act as if they think a court of law is a Father Christmas where you are expecting relief. You ask for in the first place to be granted. And of course, you are now saying that, of course, there's so many sides of it.
I said earlier when we started this show, this program, I said I will put the blame at the doorstep of all of them, the police, the office of the AGF, and even the judiciary. Now, I know and I'm aware that there are some judges that do not sit. Of course, court is supposed to start sitting at exactly 9 a.m. Yes, 9 a.m.
What time?
No, until it depends on the number of cases. They don't have a particular. If, for example, if it is just one case, a judge has to hear for one day. That is it. A judge can sit for just 1 hour, 2 hours, and he can sit till evening in some cases. So now a judge is supposed to sit by 9 a.m. When you go to some of the courts, especially the lower courts, in fact, let me be fair here. I think I will give it to the Supreme Court. When it is 9, they start sitting. I think the Supreme Court is a model court that all of them should look up to. I think they are doing that very well. Not just court sitting, not just when they have a case. Even if there is any ceremonial function, any function. Yes, like when if they say it is 10 o'clock, they start by 10 on the dot. If they are going to sit on any case, they start by 9 on the dot. But when you go to some of these lower courts, appeal court too, well, in a way, I think they are trying, but not up to, because in some cases they sit at 10, 11, in some cases 12. But when you go to high courts and some other lower courts, some of them don't sit at 9. If you put 10 judges down, maybe
I want to the case that person came by 2 p.m.
Some
2 p.m.
Some come from Lagos, some come from other parts of the country, and they have their flight schedule, So you see some judges sitting 10, 11, 11:30. At least I know a particular judge that does that. Since I knew that judge, he has never sat at 9. Yes. In fact, we used to, among ourselves, when we go to court, we used to jokingly say that this man will not come until around 10, 11. And that is the truth. So that is for the judiciary. On the part of the police, you will see like just what Silas said now.
Police, anti-crime agencies.
Yes, you are investigating. You are investigating cases of that involves billions of naira, and your salary is just 200,000 naira. If they dangle some of this money before you will compromise.
Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier, before we started this conversation, that I will blame all of them. All of them are at fault. The AGF should not come here and
to talk it as if
and absolve himself or his office from some of these things. He may not. Anyway, I will not even say he shouldn't be aware. He should be aware of some of these things that is going on. He should be. For example, I think the last one case like that I went for, I can't remember the case now. The lawyer from the office of the AGF wasn't there. The judge threatened to strike out the matter because for like 2-3 times consecutively he failed to appear. So these are some of the things. So when you talk about delay in prosecuting some of these cases, I think the AGF got it wrong by putting the blame squarely and completely on the doorstep of the judiciary.
Yes, and I think from what we have seen, when we talk of delay in high-profile cases, just like Silas actually said, that by the time they dangle some of those notes, those tweets, before some prosecuting counsel, they will be forced to withdraw the case immediately.
No, they may not even withdraw it, because if you withdraw it, yes, delay one, non-appearance, 2, some of the key documents may be missing. It is not today that we have reported that Suzu's case file got lost. Even in the court, some of these files are missing. So it is not. You see,
with the court
justice system is not one something that you can say it is just the judiciary or the courts that you will blame. It involves the police. In fact, it starts from the police when they make arrests, or EFCC or ICPC when they make arrests. Some of these cases too, the Attorney General can decide on his own that his office is going to prosecute, because in some cases, some of these Boko Haram suspects, they have been brought to court by the office of the office of the AGF is the one prosecuting them. So some of these things, it is not just something that you say it is the judiciary that is, it is courts that are responsible for the delay. It starts from the police, it cuts across.
So when you take the suspect to the wrong court,
exactly,
that court does not have
some of them knowingly, they knowingly do that. Not intentionally, they know what they are doing.
And the judge is not supposed to remind the person.
Sometimes they take the suspect to court that does not have jurisdiction. At the end of the day, after they have gone far, they will now say go. So that's why you see some of these delays. And I think the CJN was right when he said And it's true. It is very, very true. They file charges they cannot sustain.
They cannot sustain or prove.
Or prove, yes.
Yes.
I think it is true.
Because I think that an example is the case of former Abia State Governor on the present chief whip of the Senate, Use of Kali.
Sorry, George, I'm not cutting you. Let us look at this case. Let us look at this case. The case of former governor of Gombe State, Danjuma Goje. He was being prosecuted at some point. We have not heard anything about the case for some time now, because I know that the man was a very strong contender for the Senate president seat in 2019. All of a sudden, I think maybe I don't know. Maybe the man negotiated with the case, and up till now we have not heard anything about the case. So it is not. This is just one out of many that I've mentioned now.
Yes. And at the end of the day, you even see one of a former Abia State Governor.
The case got up to the Supreme Court. They even sentenced him. At some point, they just brought out one technicality. The man is out of prison.
I'm running for president.
But I think the matter was at the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court even affirmed that yes, he has to go to Kuje prison. All of a sudden, the whole thing came. How was the case recorded?
Well, I think there was one. There's something they said the prosecutor did not get right. That he was not supposed to. Maybe I think the name of somebody is not supposed to be part of the something. They just said that thing. I can't remember now. And then all of a sudden, the man was out of
somebody was not supposed to be part of the case.
Exactly.
Was not supposed to be
exactly.
It's not as if they discovered that the person is innocent.
And now allow you to, it's a funny case. But the truth is that this country will not really have the kind of president of corruption. But it may have the will.
Yes.
It may have the interest, but it doesn't have the.
You see. I said something.
You need somebody who can think strategically.
I said something.
Unfortunately,
I said something in 2015 when APC was being formed, when Buhari was to contest for president. I said, I'm not a fan of Buhari from the beginning. I'm not his fan, and I don't hate him. But I told some of my colleagues then, I said, let us agree that Buhari is sincere. Let us agree that Buhari is an honest man. How about those around him? Because he cannot do everything. Even if you have integrity, you are honest, you are this, you are that. Those around you.
Okay. Those around who appointed them?
That is what I'm saying.
So already he has already.
No. What I'm even saying, the point I'm even making is that when they were trying to form the party, then I looked at all those around him. Then I said, no, these people will, even if this guy means well, they will not allow him to work. That was what I said then. And it's not playing out now.
It is because at the end of the day, it is expected that the office of the Attorney General of the Federation should actually guide the executive, the president, in justice administration.
But unfortunately, the AGF will have. Unfortunately, like I said it as in an afro, we have not been lucky with AGF in the last 4 dispensations. For Mandoka, who said the president then
can rule from anywhere from the world.
By the time they
can even go to the moon and start.
But they even sit on the sun at the time and spend them or something. Then you had one in from Okene, who is being tried for corruption. And then you have this one now that a lot of dust, a lot of mud is thrown at him for several reasons. In fact, one judge who accused him of being behind his order because he did something to stop him from being made a son. Because the man committed some misconduct. So you have the AGF that really carrying a package.
I think it was Ademola.
Accusing president that because accusing, brought out something he did that denied him some shit. Something that's kind of misconduct. And this kind of person we are asking to return the justice system.
The system as
all the things that are all the mud even remember the Mena case, implicated him. The case of almost all the death cases.
Even this Odili matter, this Odili invasion.
What are Mago? All the accusation of Mago
and the rest.
So I don't know, but we're not working with the right issue. And you don't have the issue that has a clean nose. You know, anything that comes out there will not be clear.
It will not be clear.
So justice demands justice, not people who don't want to.
You know, these things you have said now, we cannot have just according to you.
Don't accusations.
Yes. According to you, we cannot have the right justice minister. You said in the last 4
dispensations, we have not been lucky with
now. We cannot have it. The reason we can't have it is because they are politicians.
Yes, such appointments are political.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
They are politicians. Of the party,
so they will not talk. They will not talk as a lawyer.
Yeah, it's a way.
They will talk more as politicians than as a lawyer.
You can even see that Malami. You see the way he made.
That's why you can have Abubakar saying that Yar'Adua can rule from anywhere in the world. I remember then we were in federal high court. The prisoners at the foot of the staircase in federal high court then. That it was a Friday that Yar'Adua, I think Yar'Adua was in Saudi Arabia then. That Yar'Adua can.
Well, that is the much we can take for today's big issue. Well, you've heard it all. The delay in dispensation of justice, especially the delay in prosecution of high-profile cases, is not just a thing to blame the judiciary alone. The executive arm of government is also involved because its prosecution counsels are always fond of standing the law on its head for different reasons we cannot understand. But whatever the case is, there is a nexus of understanding here that something must be done differently, either by the executive or by the judiciary. Thank you for keeping tab with us, and of course, I'll thank our in-house analysts for addressing the big issue the way it should be. Join us same time tomorrow for another edition of this program. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.